welcome to another edition of Girl, Let's Talk. I'm your host, Erica Milbourne, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am excited. I tell my story. I am a single mom. I've been a single mom for the past 30 years. I've raised 2 sons. And, so often we hear women cannot raise a man, a boy into being a man. They need that man figure. They need that mentorship. They need that, they need to see a man doing it, a man in the household, so they can learn how to be a man. So for so many years, I felt like I did it. I did a great job. I raised 2 men. I have 2 working sons, no trouble. And then I realized that there was so much more they did need. Even though I was able to instill values in them, to work, to, be respectful, to stay out of trouble, there was still more they needed to know about manhood and about being a man. So tonight I have on as my guest, I have James Cooper, known as Coop. I was going to call him Coop. We have James Cooper and we have Daniel Sinclair. Thank you both for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
They are the founders of Boundz. It's a digital mentorship program.
Yes.
And it's mentorship for not just young men, but for women as well?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to talk tonight on, one, your program, how people can get involved, and most of all, what we need to do. Because you know what? Sometimes as a parent, you just wish there was a guideline or a book of instructions telling you how to be a parent, telling you what to do, what not to do. And I know this isn't just about parenting, but about how young men and young girls can actually just get it together.
Exactly.
Because when we look at our children, a lot of times we say, this is a lost generation. I don't want to believe that. So, James?
Yes.
Coop? What
Yes.
you want me to call you? Because I like calling you Coop.
You can
We got to call you
Coop.
Coop. So, Coop, tell us, one, about your program, about Outta Boundz. Tell us what it is and, just how you got involved or decided to get this started.
Okay, one day, waking up in Atlanta, 3 o'clock
But wait
in
a
the
minute.
morning.
Where's your hometown?
My hometown is Vineland, New Jersey.
Vineland, New Jersey.
I moved
Okay.
in 2012 to Atlanta.
Okay.
So one day I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning and I just had this feeling, this vision about starting a mentorship program. And for those that don't know, I was the CEO of a program called Fed Up for You.
Okay.
Back in 2009 right here in Cumberland County. So when it came to me, I called my partner, Dan Sinclair, and I said, yo, I have something, man, and I know, it's too early to tell if it's going to work, but what you think about a digital mentorship program?
Okay.
And the reason being because when we had Fed Up for You, it was really just Cumberland County and a tri-state area. And when we traveled all over to speak to different schools, the principals, the counselors, the students used to always ask that one question: how can we get that program here?
Okay.
So the digital mentorship, it made sense. And at first it was for athletes. Then we said, nah, we can't just have it for athletes, maybe just football players. And we was just juggling back and forth. Then we made it for athletes and non-athletes.
Okay.
In middle school, high school, college, and even out of college is a digital mentorship program. And the idea was to connect people throughout the country, almost like an alumni, so they can get to know each other. Some of them going to go to the same colleges. Some of them going to go into the same career force. So it just made sense to create a digital platform for everybody to be able to come on.
And is it just for football players?
Oh, no, it's
Or
for
all
athletes and non-athletes.
Okay. All right. So you created this platform, and it's like a network that allows students or athletes.
It
or
allows
do they have
students,
to be in school,
athletes.
out of school? Like where do they have to be in their educational level?
Well, what we want to do is keep the middle school with the middle school, high school with the high school, and college with the college.
Okay.
And the great thing about it, we have programs that we're implementing for these students. Some of them want to do gaming, some want to do coding, some want to actually know what it takes to be an attorney. So what we're doing is reaching out to the experts in them fields and bringing them on as mentors to these mentees.
Awesome.
And the fun part about it is you're able to reach into the platform and be able to go anywhere in the country and get these people.
So tell me a little about you. This is Dan Sinclair.
Yes,
Welcome.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. So tell us, what was your vision when Coop called you up because I have visions, I have dreams, and trust me, I run with them. As soon as before I can even get out of the bed, I'm planning how I'm gonna get this going. So when he reached out to you and told you his vision, his dream, his what he thought could go, he could build on, what was your thoughts?
Well, if you know Coop, sometimes his ideas are just crazy, right? But not crazy, but just like, how you gonna get that done? So when he hit me with the digital platform, I'm like, okay, let's see how this works out. And then he's like, it's for football players, athletes. And then we, started really getting together, and I started seeing the vision really coming together, really starting to form. And I'm like, you know what, you really have something. We got something here. Let's go forward and move with this. And we just had to try to figure out what works better. Like, the athletes, that was a great thing, but then we were leaving so many other people out who needed the same service. So when he hit me with it, I was like, first a little bit of answer, a little hesitant, but it worked out. It worked
So
out.
where do you get your mentors from? Like, who is actually mentoring the athletes?
Mentor you, community activists, current and former pro athletes, coaches,
Teachers.
Teachers. We're
Police
taking the
officers.
people that already exist in these young people and older adults communities and utilizing them as the mentors.
Wow. I mean, I think that's great because so often we do have the skills.
Yes.
We do have the information and we have the ability to shine, but sometimes we don't know where to go. We
Exactly.
stand back and we let somebody else do that. We let you do that or we let Dan do that.
Yeah.
We stand back. So how do you get the children involved? Like, how are you reaching the communities to get these, the athletes involved?
You wanna break it
pretty
down?
much schools. So we both had prior businesses to deal with kids, prior organization. He had Fed Up for You with 400 kids, and I had an organization out of Ocean City with 400 kids. So we know how to kind of reach out to kids, but one of our main focus are schools. We kind of go inside the schools, reach these kids inside the schools and other organizations as well.
So what is your, I don't want to say elevator pitch, but what is your pitch? Like, what do you tell the school, the athlete, to get them to want to get on board?
Well, one of the pitches is, first thing we do is we go to the coaches and the athletic directors because it's 1.1 million football players between midget league and high school, so that's the majority, right? But it's just as many as in baseball and basketball, so we know that 100, 200, 300 total athletes in that school truly runs that school. And we've seen that over the years. So we go to the coaches and say, hey, we'd like to talk to you and talk to your young people, whatever. A lot of times, them kids, they respect their coach so much. If the coach say, we want you to join this mentorship program, it's hands down, nothing else to talk about. So we don't really have an elevator pitch. We just have something that truly makes sense. We have programs such as digital marketing, social media marketing. A lot of people don't know that health problems come from excessive use of social media. So we created a program called SMH, and no, it don't stand for shaking my head. It stands
There's no
for social
emoji for
media
that?
health.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Social media health, and this is one of the programs that's going to be implemented into the schools from 8th grade on up, because hey, we're dealing with social media more than we're dealing with humans face to face.
Exactly. So when I think of a mentorship program, I think of someone that's mentoring you to go in a certain direction. So you're matching athletes up with, football with football mentors, or like, what are they mentoring on? Their grades? Are they mentoring on how to get to the next level in their activity or in their sport?
Pretty much everything what you just mentioned. It doesn't necessarily have to be football players with football players, because sometimes football players don't need a football player. Sometimes they may need a police officer to speak to, or a lawyer to speak to, or someone else in a different field. But whoever speaks to that child is going to be a profession or expert in their field. So so it's pretty much to reach out to the people that needs to be reached out to.
Well, you know what? I think that we should, one, we're going to go to a break. But two, when we come back, I want to talk about how you're reaching the parents. Because so often we talk to the student, we talk to the school, but that third piece in that triangle is usually the parent. Yeah. And the parent is usually working, not present. So I want to know how you're including the whole triangle, hitting all the points. Okay? So we're going to go to a commercial. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Hello, I'm Erica, owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious dessert. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Visit heart.org/nation.
Hello, I'm Erica.
The girls all talking, the girls all talking. The girls all talking, the girls all talking. The girls all talking, the girls all talking.
And welcome back to Girl Let's Talk. You know, so often we do this with women and we want to empower and motivate women, and I'll have women on as guests. However, you know, sometimes we need to hear from other sources how we, as not just women, but as parents as a whole, can impact the lives and futures of our children. You know, sometimes we think it's just enough to go to work, provide groceries, provide a roof over their heads, clothes on their backs. But sometimes our children need so much more. So we are speaking today with James Cooper, who is known as Coop, and that's how you're going to hear me refer to him. And we have Daniel Sinclair, who we're going to call Dan. And they are here promoting their organization, which is a platform for Out of Bounds. It's a digital mentorship program. It is for girls and boys. Is there any age limit that we need to know about, or what's the age limit for this?
Well, the age limit, we like to say 12 and up.
12 and
because
up.
of the middle school.
Okay.
Starting in the 7th grade.
Right.
Okay. So it's an athlete mentorship program. If you have an athlete, let's say they're not doing well in science, and you know, somebody playing football might not be able to help me with that because their goal might have been math, or they might have been something else. You know, they studied psychology. So with your mentorship program, you take the athlete and you help them become well-rounded in whatever areas they're lacking in, or you know, give me a little more on how.
So just keep this in mind. Just keep in mind that first of all, it's for athletes and non-athletes.
Okay.
Second, if somebody's lacking in math or science, look at it as they would go and get a tutor from the counselor or whatever. Well, we're going to be able to provide the same thing because there's a lot of tutors need platforms to actually push their services out there. So we like to be known as the organization that's willing to collaborate with all organizations for your expertise.
Okay.
So when you come in, we're not the jack of all trades and the master of none. If we talking about cooking, it makes sense to bring a chef that knows what they're talking about.
Right.
Because this kid might want to go to school to be, you know, a chef or whatever the case is. So we're not going to teach that. We're going to bring somebody in and say, hey, we need you to push this and help this individual.
Sounds good. So if they need to learn how to bake a cake, icing cupcakes, or make a breakfast sandwich, you would call me.
Exactly.
And I would be the one to help. So that's good. So actually, if people want to get involved, and we're going to push this through the whole segment because I think you need to know how you can help. One, as a mentor, how parents can get involved, because we were just speaking on parents being involved.
Right.
I think one of the number one things that happen with our children is that the parents, and we don't want to call them absentee parents because we understand that in this day and age, a parent has to go to work.
Right.
You have to be out of the home. And unfortunately, in some homes, they are single parent homes. You do have to work double time just to keep up with the single time. And when I say single time, I mean the bills, the things that come in once a month and that make you have to keep pushing and just to provide. So has parents been a big pushback on this, or have parents been like, oh my goodness, this is a blessing and a welcome?
Yeah, parents have been outstanding. Parents have been very welcoming with this program since we've been back. So we came back. I lived in Atlanta as well. We came back because there were a lot of murders here. There was a lot of things that's happening here. And Coop said, like, this is my hometown. This is my home area. We got to go back and help and do something. When we came back here, we were welcomed with open arms. We were welcomed with so much love and so much appreciation that it surprised both of us when we came back. So I would say that the parents are, I would use remarkable with Out of Bounds, the way that they're responding to us.
Well, I'd have to be honest and say I don't think that I don't think it's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer. Our children need this. Last year, there were so many gun violence, acts of violence based on guns in the city of Millville.
Yeah.
I'm from Millville. It was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? And nothing for nothing and not to sound negative, they were like saying it's called Killville because that's what was happening here in Millville. And to see a program as a parent that can help our youth, and I like the fact that it's not a color thing. We don't care what color you are, correct? I mean, age limit is what's the age? No, we don't care what color you are. Violence happens to all of us. It happens to every neighborhood. I don't think there's a safe neighborhood. I hear people say, oh, my neighborhood is safe. Is there a such thing?
No.
Is there such thing? No. So a mentor is definitely needed. And unfortunately, in a lot of households, we are missing one of the parents, whether it's the father, the mother, and it's needed.
Right.
So you've had no pushback from parents. They're welcoming this.
Right.
So, Coop, when we went to break, I said to you, do you mind if we talk about you?
Right.
Because people need to know where these visions come from. They don't just happen. Life happens. And when life happens, life has a way of giving us direction. Give us a little background about you, so people can know, like, paths do change.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And I'm glad you said path do change because throughout high school, throughout middle school, people that know me for playing football, running track, wrestling, and pretty much staying out of trouble, break dancing,
I know you for break dancing.
Yeah, you know me for break dancing.
I think you could do that spin.
Exactly.
Yes, okay.
So throughout school, 13, 14, 15 years old, some of the people that was around me was already selling weed at the time, right? And it just didn't make no sense to me. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to sell no weed at 13, 14 years old. I'm going to continue to play sports and go to college. Well, my senior year in high school, I had twin sons. So that changed. That's that path you're talking about, right? And I called myself going down to the casinos and work for 1 year just to save money and go to college.
Okay.
It didn't happen that way. I loved cars at the time, fixing up cars, putting on spoiler kits and rims. I had a heavy habit on nice cars, but I didn't have the money to keep up with nice cars. Right. So I met Midget Moley, who at the time I didn't know was one of the biggest drug dealers in the tri-state area. And I met him and he found out who my uncles were, and he said, yo, I know your uncles. I used to, be underneath your uncles. And from that point on, me and my partner, he handed me 18 ounces. I didn't know how I was going to move them. I just knew I had respect in the streets there, and it was going to be easy to move. And I never turned back. And the last time I turned back, I was doing 10 years in state and federal prison. So that was that curve you just talked about earlier, and it wasn't nothing I can do. Couldn't nobody help me. No matter how much money I had, it was going down. I was doing that time.
Right. And I bring that up because a mentorship program, sometimes our children get mentored by the wrong person. The wrong person comes along, shows them, and takes them under their wing, and then next thing you know, you've hit that curve in the road or that fork in the road where you had left to make a choice, where if maybe you had that right mentor.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, that your uncles or whoever was around you wasn't mentoring,
Right.
but when you met Midget Moley,
Right.
it was just something about him.
Yeah, it was. It was something about him. First of all, he was shorter than me.
Oh, that's gonna be something about him. That's something about
I ain't
him.
never seen too many people shorter than me. So that really caught my attention.
Right.
Second thing, I was at a car shop going to go pick up my car that was in the shop for a week, getting ready for a radio competition, and I seen 21 all white cars from Mercedes to Jaguars. So I asked the owner of the shop. I was hating a little. I said, "What clowns got all the same color cars?" She said, "Oh no, that's one person."
One person.
She said, "You need to stay here and meet them." And that's what I ended up doing. So the same things that was attracting us back in the day, the materialistic
Right.
things, the jewelry, the cars, the multiple women, it hasn't changed today.
Not at all.
Actually, it's even stronger because social media allows everybody to be who they really not.
And allows them to be who they want to be.
And allows them
Be
to
who they want. They
to
can
be.
fake it, and they can fake it till they
Yep,
make it.
yep.
Because that's what Instagram allows them to do. That's what TikTok definitely allows you to
Yeah,
fake it till you
yeah,
make it. Anytime you
yeah.
put clips together and it looks like you're really
Exactly,
doing something.
yeah, exactly.
I always say I want to do a TikTok where, I'm here in this outfit and then
Right.
I jump and I'm in
Right.
another outfit. I haven't learned that yet. I don't know
Right.
how. My niece does it. But and I don't want to make a joke or make it lightly or take light of it. Our children need good mentors because trust me, if you don't get the right mentor, they will get the wrong mentor.
Right.
Because you're going to be either good or you're going to get bad. It's just unfortunately
Right.
that's the scale of balance.
Right.
You're going to get one or the other. And Dan, what's your story?
Yeah, so I also played sports in school, whatever. And then I went on to work in the casinos as well. And then I became a juvenile correction officer. Quite the opposite trails that we ran. But I became a juvenile correction officer, coached in high school football, coached youth in football, and just continued to move on with the mentorship with that program, with those type of things.
So we have two people, two different backgrounds, for the most part. One a juvenile correction officer, one actually did 10 years. Did you do the full 10 years?
I did 8.5.
8.
And then I came back and did 3. They caught me on the other end 5 years later.
On another end.
Yeah.
So somebody did 10 plus.
Yeah.
We're just going to put it there. Coming together. So you have the knowledge.
Yeah.
Which is, I would say, the best of both worlds when it comes to putting this mentorship program together. What's the odds that you get
Yeah.
and get one?
Yeah.
So you have so much to offer. You had a program called Fed Up For You.
Yeah.
I remember that program when it was here in Cumberland County.
Right.
So I'm sure a lot of our viewers do too. So what is any comparison between the two programs?
The comparison is just the passion that we're receiving from the young people that's involved and the parents. The reason Fed Up For You worked is because the parents said, "Coop, go grab my daughter, go grab my son."
We're
and
fed
do
up. We're
what
fed
you-
up with them being
and
in the
we're fed
street.
up.
We need
We're
somebody
fed
to
up.
help us. Exactly.
And that was the key. When the kids realized that, and I'm gonna keep it real. Some of the parents allowed me to physically snatch these young people up,
You have
and when
to.
they realized they couldn't go home and tell mom or dad what I did,
Game changes.
Mom and dad said, "Oh no, we're with Mr. Cooper."
Yep.
They took it to another level as far as respect goes. You know what I mean? So the thing that made that program compared to this program is just the passion coming from the kids, passion coming from the schools, passion coming from the parents, and we're seeing the same thing. It's just on a digital platform.
Well, I have to tell you, on Facebook, before you actually came back, I think you had come to visit, and people were posting, "We need you back.
Yeah,
We need you to
yeah.
come again. We need you to start another program.
Yeah.
We need Fed Up For You to come back." I actually was seeing that people
Right,
were actually all, please, begging for
Right.
you to come back. And
You
start
know what? You know something, Erica? I think some of them having a second thought.
Of you coming back?
Yeah, because
Why?
it was just a trend. Some people just go with the trend. Oh, everybody's saying come back Coop, so I'm gonna go put a comment and say come back Coop, right? But now Coop is here. Coop been here for 4 months. My partner been here for 4 months, and they see the damage that we're doing in a positive way, and they really wasn't before us anyway. So it's easy to fake it for 30 days, 60 days. What happened when you're going on a year? Is it still easy to fake it? Do that? A dog, I never seen a dog grin, growl, and smile at the same time. It's either going to growl or even going. So we're starting to see the true colors. And I have to say this.
Wow.
We got to be real. I'm starting to see the true colors of so-called community activists that was fighting this cause that since Fed Up For You left, they never finished fighting this cause. So now when people step up and different organizations step up, your CASA Pracs, your Life Worth Living step up, people are taking shots at these organizations because of the simple fact they're not where they want to be. And that's not right.
But who
and that's
cares
not fair.
if you're not? Wait a minute. Who cares if you're not where you want to be?
Right.
The goal is come together to get where you want to be.
And that's all we came for.
It's about
to collaborate.
It's about the children.
You're
It's about
absolutely
our
right.
communities.
You
I
absolutely
want to feel
right.
safe at night.
You're
I own a
absolutely right.
business here on High Street. I want to feel safe walking from my building to my car, and maybe this mentorship could do that for us.
Yeah,
Because when you're mentoring a child in the right direction and they're not going in the wrong direction, they think twice. They don't want to disappoint you. I don't want to disappoint Coop. I don't want to disappoint Mr. Dan. I don't want to disappoint Miss Erica, who was mentoring me. They think twice. And then if they hear their friends, because once you plant a seed, it grows roots. Right. And sometimes them roots hit another tree or another plant. So when them roots start to grow, because you planted a seed, then their friends, they tell their friends, come and see, come and go. Talk to Mr. Dan. You know what, Miss Erica, don't rob her.
Right.
Or don't assault her. Don't go into their communities. Don't go into our communities and tear up. So when you allow a seed to be planted, I don't care who plants a seed. When that flower blooms, I still love the beauty of the flower. Yeah. So if you're getting hate like that,
it's hidden hate. They don't have the heart to hate in my face. It's hidden hate.
SMH. And I know it don't sound for that.
But sometimes it's obvious, though, because we have a podcast that we do every Tuesday. And just last night, we had 2,000 people on. And it's not some of the same people that were saying, come back home, come back home.
Well, you know what? Those people that rallied for you to come back home did what they needed to do.
Yes, they did.
They got the ball rolling.
They did.
So if they get away from pushing the ball, that's fine. They pushed it. Sometime when you get to a hill, you need everybody to push it up.
Yeah.
You're right.
But when it's going down, how many people need to push it down?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So they did what they needed to do. They pushed that ball up the hill. They got this ball rolling, and they walked away.
Right.
It's rolling now.
They don't know what they did.
They don't know what this did. They don't know what they did.
You can't stop it once it's going down the hill.
They don't know what they did.
So, and when you use that again, just send me my check.
I love that. It's there. It's
Girl,
there.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Well, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Don't go away after these commercials. Hello, I'm Erin, the owner here at Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe. We're located at 230 North High Street in Millville. We offer a wide array of home-cooked meals, from our tasty breakfast entrees, fabulous lunch options, including homemade soups, and of course, our delicious desserts. Celebrating someone special in your life? Let us create a beautiful cake for your next celebration. We're open Thursday through Monday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 856-765-3282 or visit us online at everythingclassy.com. Everything Classy Sweet Soulful Cafe, where the main ingredient is love.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
The girls all talking, the girls all talking. The girls all talking, the girls all talking. The girls all talking, the girls all talking.
Welcome back to Girl Let's Talk. And we have a lot to talk about. You know, when I first opened, I was saying how I was a single mom and how my sons, I felt like I did a great job with them. You know, I think they're really great young men, but how I wish at some point they had a mentor, someone in their lives that could take them by the hand and say, you know what, this is what you need to do, or this is what a man does, or just to be an example or a role model. So we have with us 2 great role models, I say, because if you've ever been in trouble, Coop is a prime example of how you can turn your life around and get to that fork in the road and make a decision. You can either continue to go left or you can decide to go right. And then we have with us Daniel Sinclair. Dan.
Dan. Sounds so official with the Daniel.
Sinclair. And he is a former juvenile correctional officer.
Yes.
And him and Coop have come together and they've created a digital platform, which is a mentorship program called Boundz. How does people reach you to get involved? Because you know what? We've said so much. And when they can't reach you, then you've said so little.
Right.
Okay? So how can they contact you and get in touch with you for Boundz?
Well, it's multiple ways. Number one, our main target is going into the schools to create the registration. But to just follow and see what we're doing, you can go on our Instagram, Outta Boundz.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on our website, outaboundz.org.
Okay.
And that's spelled OUTTABOUNDZ.org.
Okay.
Right now, we're renovating the website, so that'll be ready Friday because we had to change over for 2024.
Okay.
But that's the best way. It has a chat that you can leave a message, go straight to our email.
Okay. And a parent can go to the website, send a
Yes.
message, and say, I need help. Because some of them, you know, when I was a parent, because my kids are grown now, and they probably still could use a mentor. My 30-year-old could use a mentor. If you're watching.
We can all use mentors.
We all
use mentors.
We all could.
We say that all the time.
Yes. And
Oprah has a mentor.
I need one.
Yeah.
I need one that can tell me, Erica, go left, go right, do this sometimes. Or, you know what, have you thought about it this way? Because a mentor is that kind of person that can actually tell you or suggest to you a different way of doing things or a different way of seeing things or a different way of doing. So if you need a mentor and you want to get involved and you have questions, follow them on Instagram, Outta Boundz.
Also on Facebook.
And on Facebook.
You know the Facebook
and you
page.
can't forget our every Tuesday podcast that we have. Like I said,
it's on fire.
Like I said yesterday,
It's on fire.
We had 2,000 people watching this yesterday on live, and we had a great show with a young lady named Devin and
Devin Coy.
Okay.
And Ranika Woods, a business owner right here in Cumberland County.
Nice.
So every week we bring people in, different people, athletes, parents, and different people. And it's on fire. I gotta admit,
it's on fire. And we 10 weeks. We 10 weeks strong.
Hey, if you 10 weeks strong, keep it going.
Yeah,
keep it going.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you during the break, I said, those people that let go and got off the wheel, they could have been on the other side of the hill to stop you. So let them go. Yeah. Leave them behind. Keep going. Keep rolling.
We needed that word because we talked about that earlier.
Yeah. Keep
and
partnering.
It's 2024, and that's why if you watch my page on Facebook, I didn't put up a resolution. I didn't put up this is what I'm gonna do in 2024. I just need you to feel it.
Just feel it.
I need you to feel it.
Hey, you know what? I believe that if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. So don't just go. Keep moving because your dream, you'll dream again. You'll keep seeing the vision. And write it down, make it clear. And you'll be just fine.
I love
You'll
that.
be just fine. Keep partnering. There's a lot of businesses in Cumberland County that I'm sure would be interested in partnering with you.
Right.
There's a lot of parents that could use your services.
Right.
And a lot of youth that could use. And like you said, we all need mentors.
Yeah.
We all need mentors.
Yeah. And that's great that you mentioned that too, because we are a nonprofit and we are looking for sponsors for our business and our podcasts and a lot of things that we're looking to do with the kids. So we're looking for sponsors and people to help out.
Awesome. So tell us your website again, or how to contact you again?
Outabounds.org, or you can come to James Cooper Facebook. Come to James Cooper Facebook, and you're going to see everything that's moving.
Yeah.
From the Out of Bounds podcast to the Instagram to everything that's moving, you're going to see on James Cooper page because we're waiting to build our own personal page. So. Some of you might not be invited to the next page, so you better become that member only right now. I'm telling you.
Well, I better get invited. I better get invited to the
We
next
love
page.
y'all, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Oh my God! You had some people making comments. What you have? Because I'm trying to see here, but I think they're making them under you. What are they making?
They are.
What kind of comments? We want to address some of the comments they're making.
I think they was kind of like congratulating us.
Well, if you're congratulating us,
motivating.
let's shout them out and let's thank them.
I think they was motivating. Let me put on my Scooby Doo's. Hold on.
Let me get
Got
my
my
readers.
man Andre just came on. Lance Hall said great information, Coop. Devin Cole say hi, Coop. She was on last night. 4.6 grade point average. Senior at Mammoth University.
Awesome.
Going to school for law.
Go girl.
Yeah.
Amarella Roman said y'all going to be okay. Y'all gonna be great 2024. So they was just kind of like motivating us to keep moving forward.
Well, thank you for the motivation.
We appreciate that.
You have to. You need everyone. It's I think what has happened, and we're going to talk about our youth. And it used to take a village. I don't think it ever stopped. It still does take a village.
What
and
type
I say
of village now?
A nation.
Global.
Global village.
It really does, and everyone has to step up, whether it's by providing, opportunities, because I think that's the biggest part. Sometimes our children don't feel there's an opportunity for them. They feel like, you know what, this is what's being offered doesn't include me. I can't do it. I always thought I could do everything. I was one of the people that thought I could jump off a cliff and still fly, maybe. I never tried it, but I thought I could. I meet so many young people that really believe they can't do a lot of stuff.
Right.
What is that? Where is that coming from? Have you encountered that?
We encountered it a lot.
We do. We encountered it a lot. I don't know. It's crazy because I'm a guy like you. I feel like I can do anything. Anything I put my mind to it, I can put my. But I think a lot has to do with social media. A lot has to do with sitting at home playing the games and not really accomplishing going out to try to do anything. Just pretty much not doing it. Because we say it all the time. The only way you can fail is if you stop.
And the only way you fail is if you don't try.
If you don't try.
Hey, and I really think that if I fail today, I'm going to try it tomorrow because I'm one of them kind of people. If you want to put fuel in my tank, tell me I can't do something.
Right.
I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to show you. I'm going to make it happen. So if you tell me, oh, you know what, you can't do this, or I even think you're thinking that or saying that, I'm going to figure out a way to get it done.
You know what was so crazy about starting Out of Bounds? We didn't write out a blueprint. Right, so check this out. April, we came a legit LLC .org nonprofit organization, but we didn't start this until August. We came to Jersey to start it. So we never took out anything, written down anything. Guess who took us where we at now? The people.
The people.
The people showed us what they need and what they don't need.
They
And
formed
we
it.
just-
They formed.
they
out of,
formed
We
out
had
of
an
balance.
idea. We had an idea. We knew what avenue we were going to go to, but the people formed it.
So it's a organization that's for the people, and you have to listen.
And the
Because
podcast
they're
started
what they
just
want.
going live. That wasn't a podcast. We just went live one day, and people said, "You should do
You
this
should do
every
a
week."
podcast. Yeah.
And then we just started doing it.
Let me tell you, when I was a child, my mom used to take me to the family center here in Millville. It used to be called the YMCA. And one day we're there and they're saying, everybody that can swim, come down to this end. Those that can't swim, stay down to the shallow end, because they were going to do,
Right.
put the floats on them and stuff. And I said, okay. My mom must not have been paying attention, because I told them I can swim. No, I couldn't swim. I was 5 years old. I go down to the deep end with the swimmers, that ones that can swim, and they say, jump in. This is how I work.
Right.
This is how you work. I jumped in. You know where I went, right?
Straight
to the bottom. But you know what I learned? How to swim. I learned how to swim. My mom was in them stands like, hey, she can't swim. When she finally realized I had jumped in, and I learned how to swim. So sometimes you don't have a blueprint.
Wow.
Sometimes you don't write a plan. You
Sometimes
have
you just jump in.
know what you can do, and you just jump in. I knew I could swim, but I couldn't swim. In my head, I knew I could swim.
Right.
So sometimes you don't write a plan, and life happens and creates that plan.
And that's what took place.
And that's what happened.
That's crazy.
That's what I mean. It sounds crazy, but sometimes you just got to jump in, and that's where you have to put all fear aside. You have to put all thoughts of I can't do this aside, all the negativity aside. I love that song, no negativity around me.
Right.
You got to put all that
Right.
negativity away,
Right.
and just jump in.
Cooper always says this to me. He goes, faith and fear can't live in the
They
same place.
can't live in the same place.
They can't.
They cannot.
They can't.
And you just can't put the two together. How can you have faith and have fear and believe that you can and believe that you can't?
Right.
It's like, you know how mixed up you are? That's not even a
Exactly.
fence you can even
Exactly.
sit on.
Yep.
So by all
And that word life can either uplift you or it can tear you down.
Exactly.
Some people are lifing and some people are being life. So the acronym for me for life, LIFE, is living in fear every day. Some people live in fear every day, and they just don't take that next step to grow at their company or to elevate and take on that entrepreneurship that they always dreamed of.
Exactly.
They live in fear every day, and sometimes they put them fears on the people around them.
They do. And I think a lot of our fears that our children experience are from the parents, because they speak the negativity, or they speak what you can't do that. You're too small.
Yeah.
You're too thick. You're too tall. You're too short. You were talking about height earlier. I've always been the tallest in the class. I'm like 6 feet tall.
Right.
And when people say like, "Oh my gosh," and they see me up and tall, and I love my height.
Right.
But when I was younger, I look at my class. I just looked at a classroom picture, and I was like, I am so tall. I was so tall back in
Right.
3rd grade. But I love my height. I love my length. And I said, would I rather be 6 or 5 feet tall?
Right.
I'd rather be 6 feet any day.
Exactly.
So, and I say that because these are the things we need to motivate in our children, to love who you are.
Yeah.
It's something that's happened where they have no love for themselves, and they do things, and they just, it's like there's no thoughts, and there's no love, and there's no care in who they are. And I think it starts at home with the parents.
Yeah.
We can't make the school teach them everything.
Right.
And we're losing if we think that we allow them to do so. If we leave that on them, we're losing out. We
Exactly.
can't leave that responsibility on the schools.
No, but I think that's what happened during COVID. I think COVID proved that.
Yeah.
Because when the kids stayed home, their learning just really went
Right,
down.
right.
This just really went down. So COVID, I think, actually proved that parents do need to take an active role, and we just can't put it all on the school. We have to get involved with our kids. We have to be hands-on, and it's not just the parents, it's the aunts, the uncles, the dads, the moms, the grandparents, the the brothers, the sisters. Everyone has to come together to make this thing happen.
That global village.
Exactly.
That global
Well, we
village.
have like 4 minutes left, and so I don't miss anything. What do you want to say, Coop? What message did we not present? I know we've hit a lot, but what have we do you feel you want to say to the people, to those people that helped push that ball up and maybe walked away? You know, maybe you want to say something to them, because you know sometimes we just don't walk away because we don't want to support you. Life happens to us too, whether it's work, maybe we got involved, maybe, and you know how you ever got a new toy for a kid and they playing with that toy on Christmas Day, they playing, next thing you know it's broke. You be like, what the, I just bought that toy. So sometimes people just need to be reminded. What do you want to say to those people that helped you get this started and then kind of walked away? And we're not talking to one individual person. We're talking to a team. We're talking to anybody out there that wanted to get involved and didn't, or that did and then couldn't.
Man, I just want to say, man, I thank both sides of the fence, because you can't make a pie without the crust. You know what I mean? If you just have crust and no filling, it's not going to be no pie. So everybody positioned on pushing and uplifting Out of Bounds played a very important part. Some people will continue to roll to the next level with us. Some people will not. They'll park it right where they at. And at the end of the day, we don't allow people to dictate where we're going at anyway. You can just be a plus to add into what it is that we're doing. So if the whole world went left and I feel like the right way is to go right, I'm going to continue to go right. So I salute y'all that's still here, and I salute y'all for playing that part, because I know I learned one thing about flying. I love to fly, right? We might start off in Philly, right, and then do a layover in Atlanta. Some people getting back on that plane and continuing to Arizona. Some people staying in Atlanta. So my destiny might not have been your destiny from A to Z. It might just been from A to B, C, or D. So I salute y'all, and we love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it.
No, keep in mind, every journey is not meant for everybody. And there's different legs, like you just said, to the journey. Airplane, you start in one state, you stop, people get on, people get off, and then you go to the next, to your final destination or to your next layover. So and I had to learn that with my business. I had to learn that the journey that I'm on maybe wasn't meant for my partner when I started. I started my business with a partner. We started with a plan. We went into the plan, and then next thing I know, the plan just went whew. So I had to come to terms with not being angry, being one, forgiving, which I have forgiven. And two, I had to realize that the journey God had for me, and I talk about God because that's who I believe in as my higher being. The journey God had for me was not meant for him to take a part of. So no anger, no malice.
Exactly.
But I realized I needed him to get to where I am. And you needed them to get to where you are. And then God's going to send you a new group or a new ladder. And I say ladder because, you know, you're climbing. So that ladder, it might have been a step stool. Now he's going to send you one with more steps or a different set of steps. So everybody's not meant to take the journey together.
I might need spiral steps. I might be tired of going straight like that. I need a spiral.
Might need another staircase. Hello. Let's talk about it. Dan, what would you like to leave us with, your thoughts?
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for having us on, too, because this is really great opportunity. And for the people that, like you said, OG, people who have been sticking with us, thank you. Thank you, because this journey, we just started. We just started, and there's so many things that we have, so many layers of Out of Bounds that haven't even begun yet, and it's just so exciting. So I'm just happy for the people that allow us to go this far, that helped us to go this far, and the people who, you know, like we were said earlier, the ones that just didn't really have our back. Thank you too, because they motivated us. They definitely. I mean, when I seen some things that you know, getting really upset and angry, anxious because these people just didn't see the same vision, you know, and they motivated us. So thank you for them.
You know what? At the end of the day, all energy is good energy. You know why? Because it took some negative energy. Sometimes makes you more determined. So, as they say, you know, all news is good news, whether bad or indifferent. It makes you realize what's going on. So, take it. The energy is all good. So always. I want to thank you for coming on. You know, like I said, single moms, married couples, this is something everyone needs. You know, I always look at a single mom because that's me. That's who I was. And I know that I needed a program like this when I was raising my sons. So I do make it personal because it's, girl, let's talk. You know, I want the girls out there to listen. I want husbands out there to listen. I want, you know, anybody, teens to listen, schools, teachers, mentors, listen, because this is what it's all about. We're here to give you information and to help everyone grow. So before I close, I just want to say, girl, let's talk about it goes everywhere. If you have a topic, if you have a concern, if you run a program, or if you have a platform that you would like to present, feel free to contact me at Erica Milbourne. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I would love to hear your story. I'd love to have you come on my show. We're in the new year of 2024, and I want to hear your story. I want to share your story with you. We are so much alike that we don't even realize it. So don't think that your story is so far-fetched that I haven't experienced it, I haven't felt it, or that I haven't heard about it. So share, share, and share. So reach out to me at Erica Milbourne on Facebook, on Instagram. I'd love to hear your story, and I'd love to have you a guest on my show. Girl, let's talk. So until next time, I hope you have a great night, and thank you for my guests for coming on.
And thank you.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.